My friend, I want to blow your mind right now.
I am prepared.
Because we recently received these spy images thanks to our friend James Michaels from Montana. And it took me forever to identify this prototype. But this is what we do. We look at prototype images all the time.
We do, and we're lucky enough to get a lot of images from a lot of you guys out there. And because of that, and also because we have some inside information on what's going on in the industry, we're able to figure these things out so you can get a taste of what's coming. So what is this, Andre?
Well, I think after lots of digging and lots of looking, I believe this is the upcoming new 2025 Nissan Armada SUV, the full-size 3-row SUV.
Okay, fair enough. But it's not alone. I think you and I have come to a consensus that it's next to its cousin.
But first of all, so I saw this image first. And so at first I couldn't tell how big this was. There's nothing around it, right?
Right.
So I thought, oh, it looks like a Lexus GX, right? I mean, it has kind of a flat windscreen and kind of, really squared off glass in the front. I'm like, no, this wouldn't be a GX. GX is already on sale, right? It's coming out. And then I looked again and I was like, oh, you know what? This could be the next GMC Yukon, right?
That doesn't make any sense though, because the Yukon is brand new. I mean, they just showed off its newest body.
Well, no, they showed the Tahoe, right?
Oh, the Tahoe. Yeah.
But then the Tahoe was shown. Roman and Tommy saw it.
The roofline doesn't match.
No, and the side mirrors didn't match. Nothing matched. And then the wheels. I saw the wheels, and I saw the front vent right there. And also, James Michaels, he emailed me. He's like, dude, I think this is a Nissan. So James helped us out as well.
Thank you, James. Now, a lot of things to talk about with the upcoming Armada and its more expensive brother, the Infiniti QX80.
Yes.
And that is, we're expecting this vehicle to have an all-new powertrain.
Yeah.
Possibly, now this is not confirmed, so we're only basing this on information that's coming through the industry, through other sources, but nothing official from Nissan yet. A twin turbocharged V6 replacing its old, was it 4.6 liter V8?
No, 5.6.
Oh, 5.6, 4.6.
The big.
God, I'm tired.
No, I know.
Yeah, the big, yeah.
This engine, this
Yes.
V8 engine, is probably going away. Although the Endurance V8, dude, it's been in Titans, it's been in Armadas, it's been in Infinitis.
And we love that powertrain.
It's an amazing engine, but is it going away? That's a question.
Well, that is part of this.
Yeah.
Because this is the last vehicle it's in. Remember, the Titan is going away. In addition, new transmission, newish transmission. So the current one has a 7-speed automatic transmission, but they're talking about a 9-speed automatic transmission going in there, which
makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
The Frontier uses it, the Titan uses it, right? But we do have something a little bit official because Infiniti is almost ready. I mean, we're just, 2 weeks away from them unveiling the production version of their new QX80. And they showed this prototype and specifically this rear end, also camouflaged.
Right, but it's important that you're showing this rear end because A, we love booty,
yes.
But B, because we have an image showing something very similar to this among those prototypes.
Right, so the proportion, right? So the top part, the license plate is down low. We've got some reflectors, right?
Yeah, these square components down here you can clearly see. But really it's the taillight design, which kind of strikes Lexus a little bit to me, by the way.
Yeah. But it's very popular. Like Lincoln uses something similar.
They do indeed.
Some of the Toyota vehicles are now using it. Lexus, like you said. So, and where is it?
That's it.
It's here.
Yep.
See, the license plate is down low. You can almost see the tail lamp stretching almost across.
It's pretty obvious that that's what it does. So it's also showing that the Armada is going to have a very different exterior design, which, this is the best we can do, but it certainly
look,
does
the license
different.
plate is way up high.
Yeah, it's right there in the hatch itself. In addition, the taillight design is completely different. It doesn't have that bar going across, so very different setup. I'm guessing that we're going to have we have a new front end too to look at.
Yeah, we have one image because it was difficult to catch.
That is different than the that is different than the QX80 image that we just showed you guys.
Yeah.
This is most likely the nose or part of the nose of the new Armada.
You can kind of see almost like the grill portion in the front and really kind of blocky, squared off headlamps.
Right, right. So, which makes it different than the current one. And here's the funny part. Right now, the Nissan Frontier, we've caught images of it covered in camouflage, and that one may very well have a similar front end to the Armada because Nissan likes to make things look familiar, within the family. So it is possible that that's what we're looking at, but there's more.
Yeah. So I wanted to move the conversation a little bit like to Powertrain again.
Yeah.
So now you guys have seen it. This is not probably the first time the Armada has been seen. There are a couple of images of it floating around, but I think these are the best images we have so far. By the way, this is in Montana. So you can see some snow around this. This is not in Colorado. It looks like Colorado in some ways, but James captured it in Montana. So probably cold weather testing, right?
That makes sense.
Or maybe higher elevation testing as well.
Yeah. It's really hard to see. I mean, I got to admit the camouflage is very effective because it's even hard to tell how long that wheelbase is if you look at it even slightly improperly.
Yeah. But it's very this is fashionable, right? Having kind of really flat lines on the glass, lots of visibility, really blocky design that the Defender uses it, the GX uses some of the similar lines.
Land Cruiser, yeah.
Land Cruiser. So this is very popular, but this is a full-size vehicle to go up against the Tahoe and the Expedition and many others.
We have every reason to believe that it's still based on a truck platform, a frame. I don't think it's necessarily a major derivative of the old F Alpha and what the other platforms were in the past. I think it's something very similar to those, but we have no indication to say that Nissan's going to unit body design. So this looks like it has a frame.
Yeah, and they've been using independent suspension for a while, so that's not a sign of anything else.
I think even the first gen Armada had independent suspension, if I'm correct. But you guys can correct me in the comments below.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, this one I'm almost guaranteeing it has.
So here's the thing: you mentioned twin turbo V6, right?
Yes, I did.
There's another trend in the industry that V8 engines are being kind of phased out.
Right.
Right. Look at what happened to Grand Wagoneer and Wagoneer. They had a giant 6.4 V8.
Yep.
They transitioned to high output Hurricane engines.
That's correct.
Those are very powerful. They started between 420 horsepower and 520-ish horsepower. That's a lot of power from small displacement.
Yeah, and they're very torquey too.
So Ford's been EcoBoost, for a very long time.
Oh yeah, for like 15 years.
Well, yeah, as far as their Expeditions are concerned and the Navigators, right?
They've almost entirely gone to EcoBoost. There's only a few. Yeah.
For their SUVs specifically. And now Nissan, right? And Infiniti. So they might be following the same because emissions, right? And also turbocharging brings lots of torque and very smooth power delivery usually.
Well, they've done a lot of research with turbocharged powertrains over the past few years. And as you guys know, we own several vehicles that have turbochargers on them. That's including a Toyota Tacoma and a Chevy Colorado. And these engines went from having just being the engine and then they would slap a turbocharger onto them and the cooling and whatnot to actually being designed to work with a turbocharger from the ground up. Now, it is possible that this powertrain could be the twin turbocharged 3.8 liter V6, the turbocharged version of what's currently inside the Frontier, which makes a little bit of sense that it would be the 3.8 because that's the only vehicle that's currently equipped with it as far as I know.
Exactly. And they've promised us a Titan with a V6, remember?
Yeah.
And also the NV vans of past.
Well, they did have the V6 with the NV vans.
Oh, yeah. Was it the old 4-liter, though?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it was the older engine.
It was terrible.
So I think this V6 is overdue, probably.
I would agree.
It's not the GTR engine.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the GTR.
So don't think, it's...
But it would be pretty awesome if it was.
Because I even asked the engineers, remember when the Nissan Frontier came out, I said, the displacement is very similar between the truck engine and the GTR high-performance car engine. And they're like, wait a minute, no. Different, internals, different design, different engine.
Well, that
design.
GTR engine's hand built and everything
Yeah.
else. I mean, completely different thing. But I wanted to use this as a jumping point. First of all, we want your opinion on what this is, but we're pretty sure that it is the Armada and also the QX80. But also, recently, news leaked that Nissan is in talks with Fisker.
Ooh.
And Nissan is possibly going to help out Fisker with nearly a $500 million investment in order for Nissan to get Fisker's pickup truck, because they're going to be building the Alaska if they survive, hence Nissan helping them to survive, and then possibly rebadging it or something along those lines. With that investment, Nissan will be able to build an all-electric pickup truck to go alongside their current Frontier. If that's the case, then they'll leapfrog some of the competition. I think it looks really cool.
Well,
That's
this is
the
Mr.
Alaska.
Fisker
Right.
with the Alaska concept truck. So this was not productionalized yet. This was their presentation about last year, right?
Right.
This is very interesting news because Fisker, I mean, they've sold some Oceans, right?
Yeah.
I've seen them. We've seen them in Colorado driving
Yeah,
around.
I've seen quite a few in California too.
But they're struggling, right? I mean, the way they deliver them to people, the way they maintain them. They first wanted to do direct sales. Now they're talking about dealerships, setting up dealership sales.
Yeah.
You need a lot of capital to be able to do those things.
Agreed. And if you have a partner that has a reach like Nissan, that could take care of a lot of those problems. Now, Fisker stumbled quite a bit. There's been some technical issues and some reliability issues. But working with Nissan, if this actually does happen, I think it's entirely possible that this could become a reality. And what you might be looking at here is a future Nissan-branded electric pickup truck, once again, to sell alongside their upcoming, because remember, we just saw that they're adjusting the Frontier. We think it might be just something physical.
Or maybe just a facelift.
That's
on
what
the
I'm saying.
Frontier. Yeah, just a
external thing.
small change.
But we could be wrong. You never know. It could be a lot more than that. But the point is that Nissan's struggling a little bit as well. Right now, they're kind of in the back with electrification and everything else. So if they were to do this, I think that this would be actually a pretty smart move. Plus, they would help Fisker with some of the tech issues they're having. It could be a match made in heaven. So between the stuff we're seeing with the QX80 and the Armada and Frontier and possibly its brother, there could be a lot going on with Nissan right now.
Could be a lot of excitement, I agree. And also this segment, the compact pickup segment, the Maverick is hot.
Yeah.
The hybrid Maverick. There's also rumors still of the Stout, right? Toyota Stout pickup truck that could be similar sized to this.
Yep.
So this is pretty smart for Nissan and Fisker to be working on this. Yeah, so we'll have to
if
wait.
it happens,
we'll have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see if it actually does happen, but they are in talks. That we do know. And one final note, going back to what we were seeing with the Armada, is that the Armada is sort of in a class of its own because a lot of the vehicles it's competing against are now four-cylinder turbos. If this is actually a V6 turbo, then it would only go against, as far as I know, the Toyota Land Cruiser, but that has a hybrid powertrain.
Sure, and the new GX, of course,
Yeah, that's
which is also a V6. But I mean, this traditionally has fought, against the Tahoe, but it's hard to fight against the Tahoe because the Tahoe is still the best-selling, and they control majority of the segment.
Huge.
So, but by size, I think this competes with the Tahoe. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen here.
I'm kind of excited because I do like the idea of still having a frame-based, proper SUV out there that hopefully will be a little bit better off-road than its predecessor. Maybe, who knows, they'll build an off-road version for once.
Well, they do have hooks on their hitches. They do have hooks, so maybe Montana is a good place to go. There's right there off-roading, especially in the snow.
Look at the size of those wheels. I'd hate to
Well,
off-road. Those
these are luxury
giant.
wheels.
Exactly.
So I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, if they're building a Pro 4X version,
Which we've been begging them to do for
please
years.
Nissan. But this is not it.
No.
These
Not
wheels
with those
are-
wheels.
No, this is not a Pro 4X.
Okay, so I guess we'll see what happens in the future, but this is just the very tip of the iceberg. So lots of Nissan news.
All right, thanks for joining us. As always, oldtfl.com. Check it out for everything automotive in one place because there's a lot of stuff happening. So thank you very much.